If you've been hurling your face into WWE news over the last few weeks, you know the company is cutting some costs. Pyro's gone, network shows are being cancelled, all that maloney. The reason they're doing this is because profits aren't where they want, although they're not in trouble or anything. So now they're trying to balance out the books by looking at things and going, what's needed, what's not needed, we can move the not needed stuff to the left for a little bit. That's fine too, it's a business at the end of the day and you want to make money, I get all of that. And I understand why you'd want to cut some of these WWE Network shows. However, I don't think that's the answer. I think the answer with the WWE Network is actually to start making good shows, make it worth my while, make me want to tune in. Why? I miss my own slap. Here's why. Let's face it, as of right now, when my words are coming out of my mouth, the WWE Network is predominantly for hardcore fans. That wasn't the idea originally. WWE actually thought they could get around 2 to 3 million subscribers, and if you're getting into that range, you're assuming that casual fans are going to come on board too. And that's not going to happen anytime soon. In actuality, if you take a step back and look at the figures, the network is actually worse off this year than it was at the same time last year. So now is surely the point we all take a moment, we breathe, and we rethink the entire situation. I've got no problem with shows like Talking Smack or Edge and Christian Season 2 being put on hold, because ultimately they weren't affecting the numbers enough because people are still tuning out in droves. So therefore, I understand the logic, and while I enjoyed those shows, I get why they need to be canned. If these things aren't moving the needle, then everybody's just wasting their time, and you shouldn't beat a dead horse. Also, if you do start beating a dead horse, just think how weird you're gonna look. You're gonna be at the side of the road, just punching the crap out of a deceased animal, and anybody that walks by is gonna look at you and go, that guy is weird. You don't want that. So what do? Well, in my estimation, as someone who did sign up for the network on day one, and now only really watches pay-per-views on it, we've got to change everything. Unfortunately, no, we can't start cutting back on the 2 pay-per-views a month, because while they haven't worked, for the same reasons we went into a minute ago, they're not affecting numbers enough. When it comes to a live pay-per-view, you could make the argument if they go, then more people may actually leave the WWE Network, because people do watch them, so now you need them there. You basically backed yourself into a corner, WWE. You can't get rid of them in case the people you've got now leave, but you shouldn't have done it in the first place because it didn't make things any better. And this does suck because we get way too many of them, and that actually makes them feel less special. And this is also where we go into hypocritical mode, because that's also the problem. The main selling point outside of these shows has been stuff like Bring It to the Table, or Swerved, or Ride Along. Is that really why you put your money down when the network was first announced? I don't think it was. Every one of these felt so limp and weak, and it wasn't what the wrestling fan was looking for at all. Was it cool to see a couple of superstars riding from town to town? Yeah, but it was just light and fluffy entertainment. And actually, this would be alright if it wasn't for the fact that every single show on the network almost follows this template. And then you've got stuff like Bring It to the Table that actively bashes the people who are buying the network to begin with. It just doesn't make any sense. It's backwards logic. The point is, if you're signed up, you want deep, substantial offerings that make it feel like your $9.99 meant something. Like the 24 series. Every time the WWE releases a new 24 series, not only is there a buzz about them, but they do very well. And you want to know why that is? Because they're essentially mini versions of the DVDs that WWE has been releasing for years, and they've always done well because we know as wrestling fans, we enjoy the behind the scenes story from a wrestler from like rookie to champ, whatever it is they decide to do. We get that peek behind the curtain or that more information about our favorite superstar, and it's almost as if we're learning things we were never meant to know, and that feels good. Unlike watching Xavier Woods throw flour into Big E's face. Never needed to see that. Never woke up and thought, man, if only there was a way I could see Kofi Kingston or Xavier Woods or Big E throw flour, baking goods, into each other's faces. Now, this doesn't mean we should start churning 24s out all the time, because we know what will happen then. But maybe structure them a little bit better. Maybe let us know we're going to get one every 2 months, and, you know, plan the WWE Network like it's a TV station, which is what it essentially is. Instead, everything on the network feels really random. All of a sudden, there's a new table for 3, and you're like, where did that come from? When am I getting the next one? How can you promote and market that when your foundations are so random? I also find it baffling there's not more analysis on the network too. Do you know what I do after every Raw, SmackDown or pay-per-view? I go out there looking for critique and opinion from people I respect, like the Wrestling Observer. I want the discussion to continue as long as possible because it's fun to do that and be well nerdy about these things. It's good to break these things down and go, well, I agree with that, but I don't agree with that, and maybe it means we're going to go in this direction. That's fun. And yet there's none of that. I'm not talking about the post shows they do or the aforementioned bring it to the table. I'm talking about honest critique that is always enjoyable to watch. Like when you just watched a game of football but you hang around after the match to see what the expert's going to say about it. And yeah, on occasion WWE does do this, but it's so patronising we all feel insulted. And I'm not saying we should have somebody talking about the booking or the creative process backstage, but I am saying come up with a way to make it feel engaging instead of going, well, Roman Reigns is the big dog and this is his big, bad, scary yard. I'm not 8 years old. And also, I know WWE is aimed at kids, but I'm talking about the network here. Kids ain't watching the network. In short, the network does feel like a mess at the moment, with shows just airing from nowhere and you having no idea what's going on. And then there's the UI. Have you tried to use the network on the PS4? It is like pulling teeth. It's almost like it has no clue that it's a search engine to begin with, and that should be fixed. At least fix the basic things. Make the damn thing easy to use. In all honesty, I don't actually think the network will ever get worse from where it is now, because people like you and me are going to hang around regardless, because we do like watching the archive footage. Every now and then I just pick a Raw from, I don't know, 1998 and I watch it and go, oh my gosh, the Attitude Era was really offensive, but I'm still secretly enjoying it. But in terms of new stuff or additions that should be being added to entice new people in, the whole thing, as I've said, needs a rethink. This isn't what I envisioned when the thought of a WWE network was first put in my brain. At no point did I go, sweet, we're getting a prank show. I just think pro wrestling is so unique that we should embrace that. Come up with ideas and things you simply couldn't do in other sports or TV or entertainment because it's just not possible. Create your weird offshoots and push that. Support it, promote it. And for the love of everything, don't just copy what everybody else is doing, because that's what it feels like. They looked around the entertainment sphere, saw something, went, that's good, apply wrestling to it. If nothing else, that ain't working. So let's stop it. Let's see what we can do. Now leave a comment below and let us know what you think about the WWE Network. Like, share and subscribe. Make sure you go on Twitter and follow What Culture at What Culture WWE, and then go to whatculture.com and read some articles. My name is Simon from What Culture. This was the Y series. My head hurts a bit today because I really did slam it, but I'll be okay.